I'll call this meeting to order. Young County Commissioners Court meeting, setting a regular session, Monday, February the 27th, 2017. It's 9:32 a.m. I make note that this meeting was posted and published in the manner for the time required, and that all members of the court are present. If it's convenient, please stand, and I believe Commissioner Pruitt, John, do you offer our invocation and our pledges?
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we so thank you for this day. We thank you for the rain that you have given us and blessed our lands with. We ask that you be with the men and women of our armed forces as they serve to protect our country. We ask that you guide and direct us in the ways that you should and the way that we see fit for Young County. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. One moment.
Have you read the Order Wars in Texas?
Of course.
Really?
I've got an original.
I was looking for an original first edition, but I couldn't find one less than $300.
Yeah, I've got one.
Do you really? I need these.
I think it's signed with these.
Is it
Yeah.
by the priest?
But
How did you come by that?
I found it when I was in Florida. No,
He knows me.
Stolen it out of the house.
no, there was an auction and it was left over and they just brought it to the museum when I was in Florida.
Nobody knew what it was? What, did you get $15, $20 for it?
I didn't give anything. Lots of
They just gave it to you in a box. You want to double your money?
Moving on to item number 3, public comments, announcements, and presentations, no action items. Things that I have that I've become aware of and that we have secured the courthouse yard for is Remembering White Water Safety Event on the yard Saturday, May the 20th, 2017. Next is Young County New Century Veterans Memorial Project. Our kickoff ceremony is here, includes the yard on, I believe that's on Monday, May the 22nd, 2017. And also a separate event for a fundraiser, benefit motorcycle ride. That's the New Century Veterans Memorial Project, and that's to begin Saturday morning, May the 27th, 2017. Those events have been scheduled for the courthouse yard and lawn during the month of May so far. Is there anything else that anybody needs to announce or make the court aware of? If not,
Well, let me make one more mention. March 11th will be the Masonic auction, scholarship auction. Last year we gave over $11,000 in scholarships, so please come by and help us put some more money in the till for those young kids who want to continue their public education into second.
that's the 11th.
Further, the 11th of March.
March 11th.
Reminder, these scholarships do not necessarily go to universities, they also go to junior college and trade schools.
Yeah, it's a good event. It does quite a lot of good in the community here. It's had substantial participation in it the last few years. Anything else?
April 1st, crawfish and cannons out at the fort. We're gonna do that again, so. April 1st,
April 1st?
Yeah.
And that, what event's that?
the crawfish and cannons, what we did
Okay,
last
crawfish
year.
and cannons.
So you put the crawfish in the cannon, shoot them?
Yes, that's so cool.
It makes a mess. It's an easy way to peel them.
Remind me of that.
It was wonderful last year.
Is that a Friends of the Fort
That's a
activity?
fundraiser for Friends of the Fort.
Okay. Friends of Fort Sale now. That'd be good to get that weekly, bi-weekly publication over here. Friends. Friendly Fort Crawfish and Cannons.
And what time does it start?
We start at 10, you show up, $10 a plate.
They shooting cannons.
Yeah, we always shoot.
Oh, yeah.
I always find an excuse.
It shakes the earth.
Anytime.
Yeah, and they'll deposit those crawfish about as far away as you want to get. Okay, item number 4. Consider county clerk minutes of previous meeting, February 13th, 2017. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections that need to be made in those?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Pruitt, second by Commissioner Wiley to approve those minutes as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried 5-0. Item number 5, consider treasurer's financial report. Do you have one?
I don't have anything yet. I
No?
have them semi-ready.
Okay. We'll wait till next time. Item number 6, consider auditor's budget amendments and vouchers
I
paid.
have vouchers.
Okay, no amendments?
No, sir. Vouchers total is $114,314.79. And out of the general is $30,188.06.
Have a motion by Commissioner Rogers. Second?
Second.
By Commissioner Wiley. To approve vouchers payable as presented. All in favor? 5-0. Ms. Auditor, is there any other addition or anything there that you need to talk
No, I
about?
can't believe it. I
May I
wish
ask
I
you a
had more to
question?
say. Yes,
The
sir.
CTERS money, has it been distributed yet?
No, and I still need to work that up because Jimmy's is just getting finished up, your C-turns. And I know it's in this year, but what was in last year, there's some that y'all need to pay back to Road and Bridge, a couple of you, and then some of you that Road and Bridge needs to pay back to you. So that's something I need to break down and start working on to get moved over. Because it's in there and we have the money in Road and Bridge now to pay it back.
Okay. Item number 7, consider employee bonds. That's Amber Nicole Johnson, Assistant Treasurer, a $5,000 bond.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Wiley and a second by Commissioner Pruitt to approve that bond as requested. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Item number 8, discuss, consider Throckmorton County inmate housing contract. We discussed this at the last meeting, however, we didn't have an executed copy back. We do now. Is there any discussion there that you want on there? I think it calls for $45 payment. Is, Sheriff, you have any comment to make about that?
No, sir.
How many inmates they usually have? 1, 2?
Maybe
Yeah.
1 or 2 a month,
That's
maybe.
kind of what I figured.
They don't have many in an annual
I didn't think so.
setting. Sometimes they
Did you give him
don't.
that price any thought? Did you give him that price any thought?
Over here, we have went over what it costs per day, which I can't remember off the top of my head, it's 42 something. So, I mean, 45, we're not, we're just getting over that, what it costs per
Very
day.
expensive.
So, I don't see why that wouldn't be an issue.
Well, it was for the fiscal year 15 was the last time I really calculated it, and it was 46.70 some odd cents at that
I
time.
mean, the jail administrator figured it up for me the other day, it was 42 and change to house them, so,
So we're somewhere in the bottom.
yeah.
You find something?
Yeah, over here in for the, I guess it's provisions and services. If a county inmate requires hospitalization and more than 4 hours of hospitalization is needed, the county shall furnish a guard at county's expense. Let's talk about Throckmorton County, correct?
That's on page 2?
Page 2.
Page 2, H.
Yeah.
H, okay.
And if they can't furnish it, then they'll pay us $30 an hour for our guys to be out there.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's requiring that county to furnish or pay for one. After 4 hours transpired.
That's fair.
We've got a almost identical, probably is identical to this, at Wichita Falls. We've housed inmates since I delivered the proposed contract to them.
And Woody, you did the same?
$45. And I've asked Woody every time I've seen him since then, you know, and they haven't got that done yet. That's the only thing I can get out. But they paid the $45 without any incident. Is anything else on there that looks out of ordinary that we might want to change?
You can bring that up for clarification.
Yeah. You know, I think anytime we can get more inmates in there, it's not our inmates. It just helps us out. We're not in it to make money, but we're in there to help offset the deficit just a little bit.
As long as we're not at capacity, we're running at a fixed cost, so we'll take prisoners up to that.
Throckmorton County does not have a jail. They don't operate a jail. They have been housing all of their inmates at Haskell, and it was contemplated for a good while that Haskell may close down, but I think they entered into some agreements with maybe some other entities or something that's going to remain open. That's about a 500 bed facility, I think. About 30 or 40 beds were committed to Haskell County, if I remember right, something like that.
Is that a coming trend for the counties out west? Closing jails?
Oh, it started, but I think it's kind of fell on its face, I think.
Jails are expensive to operate.
Mostly because the federal government has severely limited their governments to housing those illegal immigrants. And that was what was driving the building of these prisons back there some time ago. So with that limitation and them canceling some of those contracts, it put some of those prisons upside down.
Part of that was Obama administration, I think, and Trump's kind of changed his tune on private jail facilities.
That prospect's changed a little bit. I think that Haskell unit's going to stay open.
There's several people that's employed there.
It's private prison, by the way.
I move that we execute this contract with Throckmorton County.
Okay. Wiley?
I second.
To approve and execute the contract with Throckmorton County regarding inmate housing. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Number 9 on our list is discuss and consider interlocal agreements regarding general assistance. That's going to be with the City of Graham and the City of Olney. Newcastle also has one that they've reviewed, and I think they want to speak a little bit with Commissioner Rogers. Get that?
Yeah, I got that set up on the agenda for next.
We'll have it sometime, hopefully next meeting. But these are general services contract. They actually don't require anything of anybody. And They don't require any expenditure of funds, but they allow it as permissible. I think there's not anything in there.
Basically, is it just saying that we need their help to help us spice
You know,
ourselves?
what it is,
Yeah.
what it's primarily to do is to allow that assistance between the two entities, just with a minute order here, without a full contract or anything. It doesn't prevent one, but it allows it. We've got, if it's in the best interest of the county or the city or the public in general, then it will execute it.
Does this give the commissioners and the precincts the right to go ahead and assist if they should ask in between our court meetings?
And upon a discussion between the particular precinct or the county with either of the cities.
So if we were to assist them with a truck and trailer to go pick up something for the city,
Minute order and our minutes all be required, would require individual separate contracts. The city of Allen had it actually first, and they sent it back to us about 2 weeks ago, signed, and then the city of Graham had theirs on their agenda this last meeting. We have an executed copy of that also.
I believe we authorize these two interlocal agreements with the city of Graham and city of Allen.
I'll say.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Sipes, second by Commissioner Rogers to approve and execute contract with general assistance contracts, interlocal agreements with the city of Graham and the city of Longley, as executed by those entities. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Item number 10, and we'll,
How long has Young County been taking care of Newcastle?
since the county was established, since Newcastle was established, I suspect, longer than I can remember, or longer.
I guess it's just been up until recently, though, still been divided between at 380 and
Well, it used to be fully in precinct 3. That was back in the 80s, 70s and 80s, maybe even before that. And I believe upon the census of 1970, I think, is when parts of that got in precinct 2, and then maybe in 80 it got. I never did get fully in precinct 2. Census of 90 is what split it. Got about a quarter of it in precinct 2 and then the other 3/4. The census of 10. Reorganized that and put it all fully back into precinct 3. It followed the city line, east and south city line.
Appreciate y'all doing that.
Any discussion there? Okay.
No, I talked with the mayor before all this was supposed to transpire, and she agreed with it and understood it all. She took it before her council, and then they had questions, so now I'm on the agenda for next month, their next month's meeting, which is okay with me, fine. We'll discuss it too.
Okay, very good. But yeah, it's, I mean, when I was a little kid, the county was taking care of that.
the galleons was out there.
Mostly just,
That's a long time.
yeah, it's been more than half a century. Mostly just consisted of blading. been a few other repair work, and quite frankly, they contributed some.
I saw them a culvert one time, they bought the culvert and I helped them put it in.
Yeah, I might make a deal with them on the little lake road they have there. She was talking to me about it. I'm like, because it's actually theirs, but we kind of graded it for them and stuff. It needs a lot of rock. I'm gonna see if they'll, might have it with us or something like that, and we'll help them out a little bit. But I'll let y'all know when that comes about.
I know that the one that we was doing in jail out here, that we got a lot of excess stuff that we got there to the spillway, where we washing the road real bad.
Oh, that road's terrible.
That should have helped the erosion problem.
Yeah, it's had some maintenance done on it, and Rollins needs it now, especially after these big rains the last couple of years. Okay, item number 10 is acknowledged political subdivision elections contract. This is Lauren. You want to get in here and talk to us about this a little bit? I think we just need to acknowledge the contract. I think the election administrator has that authority outside of our purview, but for our convenience.
I like for you guys to know that we're doing it. I'm contracted with the city of Newcastle to do their city council elections and the Olney school system for their bond election. You only have the Olney schools contract, but Newcastle is exactly the same. But that just got signed like at 11:30 last night. So we realized Friday afternoon we didn't have it. So it's just out there. They'll pay all the expenses for payroll and balloting and everything. So, and then they'll pay 10% extra on top of that for administrative. So
There's no contest in the city of Graham.
no contest in the city of Graham.
What about the school?
Nothing. They were all
UISD, what,
Olney has a full bond, and that's all they've got. And the city of Newcastle they have 7 people running for 3 spots, and then 1 uncontested, unexpired term. So.
Newcastle has 7 people.
They sent me the list, and I said, no, I just need the ones that are running. And she said, that is the ones that are running.
How many folks got Newcastle eligible to vote in that?
340 something.
It's gonna cost us quite a little.
It's going to be interesting. I'm really kind of excited by that one.
And that's all for the school board?
No, that's for the city.
The city,
Yeah, so it's just city limits.
Could be just a tie right there.
Yeah,
People, maybe you're probably gonna be around.
I'm worried about runoffs for the city of
I don't know how
Newcastle.
they could be.
Top 3 spots, but
You actually have to have 50%.
no, it's top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, that's right.
But if you get 2 people in 3rd place with the exact same number, what do you do?
While you were here, Minnesota,
Yes, sir.
what's going on down in the legislature that is going to affect voting?
Oh, there's lots going on. I'm leaving Thursday to go down and spend some time visiting with different folks about, especially May elections. They're trying to do away with May elections, which would impact our political subdivisions quite a bit. So I'm personally not in favor of it. I think it would cost places like the Olney School District a lot of money.
I understand there's a redistricting bill written about.
There's always one of those. I'm not as worried about that at this point. I'm more worried about, if this had been run through a November election, if the Olney School District had been run through a November election, because of the way the territory falls into 4 different counties, they would pay for basically 4 different elections. And with it being in May, I can take over the entire territory and run the election for them. So we will actually have Young County machines in McGargle on election day for the Olney School District. But if it were a November election, we would not be allowed to do that, and it gets infinitely harder and infinitely more expensive. So I have communicated that to Drew Springer because he has a bill specifically about May elections, and we'll be meeting with lots and lots and lots of others. There is also online voter registration, which we did a resolution for a couple of years ago. And that looks to be something that's a pretty hot topic on the election front. So
What about no electronic voting?
Is there a bill for that?
There is a bill, there's a couple of bills specifically targeting direct recording electronic machines like we have, and we have just purchased. We have thrown lots of fits, for lack of a better term, and sent lots of information. We are also taking some of our machines down Thursday to show some of the security measures for the legislators that show up to reception. County clerks and district clerks and the EAs are putting one together.
You have a bill number on them?
405 is one of them. There seems to be another one, but I can't remember which one it is. And it's from Hall. So anyway, I don't see that one growing legs, but with the November election,
So what's Springer's position on that November election bill?
he would like to go to only November elections. But he also has a bill that wants to move the May elections to March, but not get rid of the May date. So I need some clarification on that. He's got two different bills that seem to be in competition.
Lauren, if you would, could you send me an email or a text? I'll be there tomorrow to see him.
Okay. Well, I'm meeting with you Thursday
Chamber of
afternoon.
Commerce. Well, I'll soften him up for you.
You better. We had long emails exchanged about
Okay.
talking points, so, but yeah, I'll send you a text on some of that. Like I said, the hot topics are online voter registration and May dates. And then I have talked with Hart, they don't seem to be too troubled by the Bill 405, but at the same time, we just don't ever know after November what's
You're
going to
telling us
happen.
where legislation being passed has the unintended consequences
Yes.
of additional mandates that we have to pay for.
More
Well-
questions?
Oh, I've been pretty vocal about that, I've good some of them.
And that's.
We all need to get vocal about that. I
Yeah.
have also.
The unintended consequences of doing away with DREs, not only would it negate the $300,000 we just spent, but there would be ongoing costs to doing paper ballots, and we would have to go back to precinct-based elections, which would cost more because we'd have to have them
What's
run.
the driver of this?
We're on
Do we know?
videotape.
Say
I'd
it as
rather
nice
not
as you
be.
can.
There were some folks who just don't think those are the most secure ways to vote, and
We
they
have one of the
don't.
most contentious national elections we've ever had, and
Yeah.
the only votes that were in there were handwritten votes.
Yes.
And people don't understand the processing, that even your handwritten votes, your mail-in ballots are run through machines. They don't understand that voter fraud and election tampering are two totally different things. They don't ever even speak to each other. The voter registration list never speaks to the votes. It just checks you in to say, yes, you're eligible to come in and cast a vote. So, a lot of education needs to happen in the next couple of years before we hit a governor's race. And I think getting the new machines will require Young County to have some of those conversations. And that may be very helpful for our voters to understand how much security really is built into the system. Because the average Joe has no idea, you know.
So you and our machines are going to be the star of the show Thursday?
Not star, but we'll be there. We will be there. I think I know of a dozen of us that are going, but that doesn't include people that are from the Clerks Association.
Who has taken delivery of their machines besides us?
There's about 9 counties, last I checked. Hidalgo County was the most recent. They did theirs a couple weeks ago, just finished acceptance testing. But since the first of the year, we've had about 9 counties, Lubbock and San Pedro and San Jacinto, and I don't remember off the top of my head, Medina, Madison.
Harris, Dallas.
Lubbock's probably
Lubbock.
the biggest one going. Lubbock and Hidalgo both spent about $5 or $6 million on equipment.
And the city of Wichita's already went to those November elections.
There are different places who have gone to November elections. And in bigger cities, it's not an issue because they don't cross territorial boundaries. They don't cross county boundaries. So the Wichita Falls School District stays inside the Wichita County area. The Almy School District does not. Baylor Water District does not. The Almy Hospital System does not. So those guys would be paying for multiple elections on the same date, and their candidates would have to work 5 times harder because they're gonna be at the bottom of the ballot, and they're gonna be after you guys who are on primary ballots with straight party tickets. So, to even get people to look at that screen is going to be harder on those candidates and bond measures and whatever else may be on those political subdivision ballots. That's one thing I do like about the Verity system, is it makes you go through every single screen and look at each race, but at the same time, you know, there's always the fear of voter fatigue and voter ambivalence, and they just say, I'm done. So, we see a lot of undervotes at the bottom of the screen. So.
Okay, we're good. I'll
All
vote.
right. So we'll take the man to the phone.
I don't believe there's any necessary action on that. Item number 11, discuss, consider items before bailout authority. Bullet point number 1, purchase of a lawnmower.
Yeah, I put these on the agenda. I went out there and looked at their lawnmower, and I asked Cheryl before I went out there. The last time we purchased the lawnmower was in 2009, and it's got a cracked block on it. It's just,
Leaking oil.
it's leaking oil pretty good, so.
How much is it leaking?
I had to replace oil in it after running it. I wouldn't say more than 2 hours.
Pretty good.
I had to add oil to it. And then, not only is it doing that, the belts and the pulleys and everything are not staying in place. The pulley system is starting to come up. I mowed yesterday and had to stop because one part of the pulley would not stay where it's supposed to be. So it's throwing the belts and throwing the pulley system.
How many hours on that machine?
900 and something.
Almost 1,000.
It's 998.
I think that's what, well,
If
that's
it's
before she
correct.
mowed yesterday,
I mean-
that's if it's correct too,
Yeah.
so.
We mow 3 to 4 days out of the week.
It looks like mowing season's gonna start a little bit sooner.
Well, it already has, and that's
It'd be
where,
a long mowing season.
Yeah.
Okay, who have we priced these from?
so we've gone through V, that's who's been working on, the one we have, they're the only hustler dealer that is to work on them. They are about $2,000 cheaper than XL, and, those were both the Bravely Motors, mowers, and then we have, Paul, PW. They have the Grasshopper, and, those are pretty heavy duty, they're really nice, they're really pricey, but they're, I mean, they have lots of attachments and stuff, that can go with them. And then Tractor Supply, we got, this from them, but the decks on those are not thick, and
Well,
so.
understand
They're not commercial.
No, they're not
Right.
commercial, and they do not, the acreage is not over 4. The best one, you can't go over 4 acres with mowing every time, so.
In my opinion, I think we should just pick that one out, because I think we need a
Yeah.
commercial lawnmower if we're gonna get one. Do you
Commercial,
agree?
yeah, commercial.
And the grasshoppers, I was really impressed with them. I know they're really expensive, but, the thickness of the deck is really, really thick. They do all in-house, servicing.
Is that
and-
with Paul's?
with Paul. And, you know, what they were telling me is that even the residential, the smaller ones, the only reason why they call them residential is because they're more compact. But they're built the exact same way. They have, you know, they're just built exactly the same.
So they're local and they would do maintenance on them?
Yes, they do everything. They service absolutely everything.
Now, Commissioner Sipes did say something I wasn't aware of, but he said Mike's Westside Rental also has them too.
Yeah, I tried to look it up online real quick, but,
Yeah.
all it shows is rental stuff. It won't show.
He sells Skag commercial mowers. I mean, I know because I own a couple of them, their service has been impeccable.
Yeah.
Now, you
The
said,
mower has been good too.
you said Veith also.
Yes, Beef has been really, really good to us.
They're going away from the Hustler mowers too. I mean, it's
Right.
like everybody's going away from the Hustler mowers. And I think their biggest one is Gravely, right?
Yes,
Their biggest.
and that's what everybody's been pushing us to, that's XL pump. That's what they, sell.
Did they make a little error on there?
Yeah, I think they just added them all together.
Oh, yeah, they just added.
Yeah.
I know,
Like we're
I
gonna
saw
buy all
that.
That was
those.
just the added of all of them, yeah. A lot of these were kind of chicken scratch. I was trying to get a, beef was the only one that gave us a,
What's, you said the one you had, that was a Husky?
yes.
Hustler. Okay. Did you talk to them about taking that in on trade?
We went and talked about, we gotta put it up for, since it's.
Well, if they would take it in trade,
If you take it in trade, you.
then we don't have to do that. Right. But if we sold it outright, we'd have to take
Yeah,
out bids.
bids, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, you know, and I don't know that they wouldn't because they still do have some Hustler mowers.
Mhm.
I mean, if anything, they'd use it for parts, honestly.
They're just going away from the Hustler motor because of
Nobody will.
we used to take the XL pump and they took care, for blades and, things like that, but then they got away from that. There's insurance problems there with doing that. So they told us the only other place they know of is V. We went to V. They were good to us for a couple of months, but then now they're doing the same thing that Excel's doing. It's just kind of, I guess, I don't know what the deal is with Hustler itself, but,
Hard to get parts.
it's hard to get parts for.
Yeah, we have several parts that are on back order.
This mower that you have now was bought from Brown Tractor. Sam Burgess.
How much, did I tell you how much we paid for that?
9,000 something, wasn't it?
It was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
They haven't gone up.
You know what,
that
there's not a lot
much.
of difference, just.
No.
And if, on this, he's got a circle, and this
Mhm.
right here, the ones that, this, where does
I can
this?
see
That's
the tags.
That's XL,
Okay,
and I
this is
have,
That's a 72-inch.
Yeah.
66, yeah.
These are printed out from Excel Pump, but the Tractor gave us the quotes, and if you look at V, it's 2,000 cheaper than.
Yeah.
I believe, let's see, what's this model? This is,
That's a
that
haul.
one's awesome. That one, it would be my dream mower, honestly, because you can put a dozer on it, you can, the dozer tip.
Put
you-
attachments to it.
Yes, they have tons of attachments. The deck on it itself
And that's a zero turn.
lifts. It lifts up, so instead of having to put it on a lift and everything to change the,
61-inch mid mount, what was that one?
60.
60.
It's not any more expensive than anybody else.
No.
9,100.
well, the one that I was, the one above that is,
12,000.
it's 12,000.
Oh, I see. Right.
But that, I mean, that one, he was pushing me towards just because of all the stuff that we do out there.
What, our price is 11,413, right?
What engine is on that?
On the Grasshopper?
Yeah, the one she's talking about?
That one
Oh,
So that's
is,
what about.
yes,
Is it a Kawasaki?
yes.
See, that's what I like about that. The Gravely though, it's got a 35 horsepower,
Which
With
one?
what?
the Gravely.
That's a 15 mile an hour.
Yeah, and which is awesome. But, you know, I like them equally. I really like the big block just
There's
because.
only two things different between a residential mower and a commercial mower. The deck, the welded deck rather than a stamp deck, and the RPM of the blade is about 3 times faster than a residential blade. That's why you can mow so fast.
Well, we
It's
got,
going closer to 10,000 RPM than the 3,300 or whatever.
And that's why that Kawasaki, that 35 horsepower Kawasaki is that as well. The only thing they require is on Kawasaki, they require you to use Kawasaki oil filter and Kawasaki oil
For the warranty period.
for the warranty to be good. But,
I've got a Kawasaki on the one I've got. Required to do this. But I tell you what, when you do run these mowers, you run them wide open. You don't run them half, 75%, 90%, you run them wide open.
Have you seen her out there? Her hair's blowing back behind.
She would have done it whether it's logical or not, whether it's recommended or not. But it's recommended that you're up at full RPM.
There's also a great need out there for a little small tractor with front end loader on it.
So that might be good.
I don't know, it says it's rigged for, you say it's
I have,
rigged for a dozer blade, but how about a bucket?
Well, and that's what I asked him, that dozer blade, they can put an attachment on it to where it lifts up and it moves right, left to right, and that's
But
what
I don't
I,
have a bucket. is what it is.
it's, yeah.
I don't know why we don't look at it.
That's what I was
It
asking.
may not have the traction to push it back.
But here is,
That's what lawnmowers are. You gonna use that?
I'm letting him borrow the skid steer this week, or this week, next week.
You're doing that, you're gonna start messing the front end up, and it's not balanced.
Well, I mean, if we need that, like this week, I'm letting him use my skid steer to, I'm taking him out to
This
target.
is-
It'll go 15 miles an hour, it's like you're.
it has those attachments to where, you know, like for the leaves and grass and all that stuff, and, to tow a little trailer behind it, but also the Gravely, I did call them, and for the attachment, the hitch attachment for that is only $40.
Blower?
Yeah, it has a blower, it has an edger, there's the dozer.
A sweeper?
Yes, it has, I mean, of course, these are extra.
Yeah.
These are, I mean, I did.
What's your skid steer do all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
He can put a mower in front of it.
What is this?
I don't know, it's
Yeah,
Oh, it's another brush. Oh, okay.
yeah, this thing is amazing, like it's, yeah.
Well, Grasshopper is a good piece of equipment. They've been around a long, long time.
Yeah, and he does all the servicing, he does everything for
Paul's.
them, yes. I was trying to see, I mean, he wrote down, I think, on there, he might have, yeah, for the dozer, it would be $1,500. And to do the lift so that it goes up and down, from left to right, it's, $3,050. But,
That's all you need is a dozer.
yeah. I mean, the more
16,
the more
$17,000
equipment you
lawnmower.
can give me, the better. I mean, there's a lot I could do out there with that, but
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Kids will be
I
knocked
agree with
down.
Judge, though, a small tractor with a bucket and maybe a box blade would be really good.
It would be.
Probably for this piece of equipment, just a straight mower.
I think so.
Yeah.
Look at it, one trick on.
but the Great Lakes is, I've heard a lot of good things about. I mean, I went,
That's what whenever we rented from West Side, when the war was down, we used a great one.
yeah.
That's a fix 1,000 would be the best, wouldn't it?
The what?
That fix 1,000.
On
Would it
the,
be possible we might table this until the next meeting where they can go down to Mike's and look at those commercial lawnmowers he's got? So we give everybody in town to sell
Well,
lawnmowers.
then ask him about the trade-in, you know.
Yeah,
like take
please,
this
yeah.
on trade-in, even with, and it's just where the old drain
Well,
is. where
That's one of the problems,
It's
yeah.
been cracked on that.
Yeah, where the plug goes into where the old cooler is.
Yeah.
I mean, we could try to wire weld it with our aluminum wire welder,
But
but
that's not, I
it's
mean,
probably not
like,
gonna,
the blades aren't working.
right.
So, I
But
mean,
still, that would
can't,
help.
it won't cut.
Yeah, but you can come back with numbers on the trade-ins too.
It ought to have some fair amount of value to it.
But would,
Doing
most
that, we
lawnmowers
would
run out,
need-
the decks wear out before the engines do, so he probably have an engine laying around, you put in, and sell it used.
We would need something for the meantime, definitely, because I tried to mow with it yesterday and
It's just not.
I couldn't. It was throwing the belts and the pulleys. Sparks were
Could
flying.
they use the courthouse lawnmower
I suppose it can. Illustrate.
without having to rent one?
Well, look, can Travis's crew do it? You need some, absolutely out there for a minute?
Yeah, no problem. Until they get something working.
Who you got working? You got him working already now, bud?
No, but we're real close.
They mowed that thing several times before the sand mowers.
You
So we can
have
take care
all
of the
out
mineral
there.
mowers, you'll gather the information.
Tell him to get out there and get that cemetery before tomorrow. too.
No,
Great what
there's
you do.
not much out there at the cemetery, but
There's
there.
not.
It's pretty much dirt.
The
Well,
pigs.
Yeah.
The pigs are coming in the fields.
The problem with crew working the cemetery is
Headstones.
they just about destroyed the markers and got all.
I got you.
Well, then the hog.
Conditions in now because of that, picking them up and throwing them against the trees, piling up one time.
I think we got that on the agenda too, don't we?
Yes.
We'll talk about that burden.
Well, I would suggest that we table it and let you get those numbers on trade-ins, maybe you can go by and see mine, get a trade-in from Paul and what have you, see about disposition of the other lawnmower.
And also, Mike was saying a while ago that, I mean, if there's something wrong with the lawnmower, they'll come and get it. At Maxwell, Sid Paulson did that too. That'd be awful helpful to you guys too. if they did that.
Because loading the lawnmower onto the Cannon trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
would
It's a
need.
little tricky.
yeah, I
we
noticed this
definitely
one
need
is a
something
61
that-
inch and that 60 is just barely on there.
When you find one dealer will do something good for you, ask the other dealer to beat you, it's good to do it.
Absolutely.
Bring us back on that trade-in, if you would please, on this, big block, 29 horsepower,
Okay,
grasshopper,
Go in the showroom floor and buy it, look at that big.
and also look at mine
okay.
out here. I just learned that good thing about his prospective trade-in,
Okay.
what he might give for that lawnmower and trade. We'd probably prefer to trade.
I think that'd be the best way to get that surplus equipment.
And also, talk with Travis when you leave to see if they can come out there and finish your mowing for you. At least somebody will get mowed. You probably wouldn't want them there, out there with.
I think Amber like them.
Yes, I do. It's driving me crazy that it's not working because
You want them up?
I need to know.
Do we need to get a stereo and headphones?
No, I have that already covered. I got a phone.
As long as it's got the cup holder for a coffee cup.
She's good to go.
Yeah, I got
I'm kinda like you, I like it
earphones
on my board
and
too.
sermons, so I'm good.
Now, Beef won't come down, will they?
Oh, they may,
Oh, really?
because
Okay.
BP wants to work with us.
Okay.
That's who's been doing a lot of our stuff. I mean, he's come down a couple thousand on everybody else's, so
All right.
that's without telling them.
Use leverage.
Well, and that's why,
That makes
not only is
sense.
she the one that operates the lawnmower, but she's the one that goes, they tend to like her a lot better.
Paul,
I can understand that.
Paul likes me a
A
lot.
little prettier than him.
A little prettier.
A little bit prettier.
A whole lot prettier.
Her mustache needs to stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, lawnmower's top guy.
So we'll table that bullet point, purchase of the lawnmower for some additional pricing information. We'll have that March 13th. Okay.
Are we
Next,
doing the,
Shit.
Shed for the county.
oh, go for it.
We've got all the supplies donated for a cover for the cannon,
Who from?
French Fort Mill now. So it's,
Okay, there, okay.
everybody has let us know. And of course, a lot of, the idea is to make the shed look like the well out there, so it doesn't look like this modern piece of, so we've got the rock, the cedar, the plywood that we need for the roofing, and then we're gonna have, that shake roof, the wood shingles. We're gonna get those after we get,
We've talked about the proposed location, let's talk about the proposed location.
okay. The best place, what I would think of is west of where the old cannon is at. There's a huge pine tree. It's up on a level, more of a level spot, and it would be easier to get the trailer into. And it doesn't block the view from the museum really any more than what the trees or the crepe myrtles do, so. If you're looking at the museum, it would be to the right of the entrance. This
North of the well.
north of the well, yeah, northwest, northeast of the well, excuse me.
So it's just gonna be 3 walls, right? No, there's, I mean, you can go inside of it?
Yeah, it'll be open, and it, 10 by 20.
Be open all the way around?
What's that?
Will it be open all the way around?
All the way around.
Oh, okay.
10 by 20,
Just a
just
shed.
a shed over it.
Okay.
That way, for one thing, it gives it protection, but at the same time, we'll run a rope or something around the cedar poles to keep people from going in and touching them.
It's still displayed.
And it's still on display, because pulling it, we did that last winter, pulling it in and out of the garage to try to keep it protected from that. Of course, this winter, wasn't as bad as last year, but, you have to load it up on the trailer, then unload it off the trailer and stuff like that. We don't have heavy enough equipment to pull it out. Plus, I just like it to be on display year round.
Is it gonna be sitting on a gravel?
There'll be, so the well has got that rock around it. We've got some of that rock. We would use that for the platform, but put, gravel, level it off underneath there. Put the rock down on top of it. That way it matches the well. It looks like everything else out there, like it
Wouldn't want
belongs.
a concrete slab.
No,
I prefer not to have concrete slab. But we do have the rock, we do have, you know, all the material, and
What about the construction of it?
we would do that. Friends will go down, lead. And, but yeah,
So you need this court's permission?
I'm just looking for permission.
You may see a reason why we shouldn't.
Is that like a gable shed out there?
Yeah, it'll be pitched on all four sides.
So it'll be a hip roof.
Yeah, it'll be on all four sides. I mean, the well is the octagon all the way around, so we want it to resemble that as much as possible. So,
The shake shingles again.
and the shake roof, the shake shingles are the ones that is the only thing we actually have on the property right now.
Is the Friends of the Fort, are they established yet, or they've got their 501c3 organization, have they been registered?
From what I understand, they're supposed to get that this month. I'm not sure 100%. Of course, I play dress up with them.
Would that be a problem taking that donation from just a civic group?
Well, no, we probably wouldn't have to take it if it was the organization, Friends of the Fort, and they would just give them permission to do it. But being that they're not a registered organization yet, it may look effective. And we might have to take that donation in from the individual. I'll research that, I'm not sure it would be necessary for us. It may be necessary for us to take it anyway, regardless.
But it won't matter, we still give permission for the project to move forward.
Well, yeah, I want to go out there and look at the gym a little bit, study around with it a little bit, because
When you'll do that?
I've got a kind of a special fetish to the fort.
Well, and another reason that placement, I want to be able to see that cannon from my house at night time. Of course, it'll be locked down, we'll have it locked into the ground, but I still want to be able to see at night time, to be able to have eyes on it. You know, we could, and there's plenty of places to put it out there, but just, yeah. And actually, I've talked with Boy Scouts and, I mean, Eagle Scout projects, that's one of the things that they would love to be involved in. And since we already had the ball rolling on that, it was like, well, what else can we add? Security lighting, different things like that, so. But I just, to me, it makes me feel more comfortable to be able to see that from, from the house at all times.
The security light that we do have in front of the fort lights up everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything.
But yeah, that's what I put it on, because I mean, we've got to get a cover on that thing, so.
Is there any reason that cannon might need to be at times completely enclosed?
If the snow is coming in from the side, I would say, yeah, we might be able to do that, but,
When Dr. McBroom had it, was it completely enclosed?
well, he kept it on the trailer in his garage. That's one reason he didn't get rid of it, because his wife didn't like it in his
Need
garage.
space in the garage.
But I think it could be something to where, that's what I was about to say, that it's rolled up, you can't see it.
That was
you
the
can drop
other,
it down.
that was the other thing. We've got canvas out there, that we can, use up to roll up. If the snow and the wind's blowing in from the
Sort of
northwest,
storm
we can
shelter.
just put drop it down to keep it from.
That's pretty good.
And it's, that canvas that we have is, of course, it's fire resistant and, resist water, mildew, all that stuff.
Is it particularly designed for that?
Well, their fly is designed for tents to protect people on the inside. So it's not, not particularly for cannon, but
Have you thought about a professionally built roll-up system where you can roll them up, tie them up,
we could,
pull them down? They'd probably have to be,
we could have, yeah, well,
that'd
we
be
could have it
custom made
inside.
for that particular facility.
But what I was trying to get away with is getting a structure built that we didn't have, county doesn't have to spend money on, that we can just, just to cover and, so it can be on display, rain or shine. There are certain times when the weather gets bad that extra protection might be needed, but
Well, can we give him permission to do it with with you and Mike going out there and looking at it?
Well, that's a great donation, and it does need to be protected.
If we need to bring back if for some reason you or I disagree, or anybody else disagrees about the location, then we need to talk about it again, but so far as giving permission for one to be built, we just need to verify the location.
okay, good.
Is that little cannon still sitting out there on
That, and see, that's a great example of why you need to have protection on it.
Well, that's what I was about to say, like, even with that little cannon, there's some work that needs to be done
Yeah,
on
the
that,
rails
where
of
it
that.
crumbles and just falls.
Yeah.
The wheels on it needs to be,
you know cannon expert?
I don't think I know anybody that would work on that cannon.
Putting them running gear, build all of it. I think.
We can, I know, I mean, there are people that would sell us parts for the wheels, the pieces, and all that kind of stuff, yeah. I mean, steam cannons would be,
Mr. Hannah out there did, I think he did that. I think he rebuilt that, and that cannon belonged to, Norman. He's gonna clean it, Norman.
SQ.
SQ. That's where that cannon came from.
as far as, like for wheels and stuff like that for that old cannon, I mean, there's plenty of places that you can get that, but to actually take the barrel and they're gonna stand off on it. I mean, there's just, because it wasn't built by a professional cannon maker, you know, he was machined at the shop or at the school or something like that, so.
Will be any gunsmith around here doing that? Or not?
Put new trigger spring in.
No, I meant working on that.
Well, somebody that specializes in refurbishing these old horse-drawn wagons do that.
we had somebody out there once before, and I can't remember who it was, that was telling us about getting it, putting the wheels in the water, letting it swell back up, and then it would kind of settle back in it, but I can't remember who it was.
I like those wheels, are probably too far to go.
Yeah, they're pretty, but that's how they used to readjust them, was to roll them into the water.
So what are we doing with the shed?
Have you got that location marked out there?
Not with any,
Would you put some stakes in
but I
there?
know, yeah, I can do that, absolutely. Where it's at, it's easy access from the road for the trailer to get up there that we don't have to drive through.
So it provides access, provides security, provides
And it's, I
visitors a quick look when they walk into the museums.
mean, it'll be.
How tall will it be?
We're looking at the top of the poles being 8 feet with the pitch going in.
Okay.
I think 11 and a half is what, 11 and a half, 12 is what the top, the very top of the top. But that's just enough, that we can get in, because nobody else is gonna be going in there. I mean, they'll be on the outside of it.
What condition is that stage in?
It's
Good.
just, it's, yeah, it's.
The stairs need to be, level every once in a while. But they're good.
Flooring's all aluminum.
That's not a circa 1860 stage, it's
No,
pretty modern.
that's pretty modern.
I've got ideas about that stage that we could work, it might be in a 5-year plan or something.
You know, we got the Texas Historical Commission to allow us to put metal roofs on those buildings out there, as long as the color was a resemblance to the proper color. But you're actually gonna use.
Yeah, because we, I mean, if people are gonna donate, you know, that kind of stuff, because that shake roof is expensive.
It's hard to build durability and authenticity together.
Well, and the point, we'll have modern construction, but it'll be hidden from, we've got all bolts are square bolts, so that it looks like
You're
it's.
using cedar posts.
Yes, cedar post, we've got all cedar posts for it, so.
Well, can we give them the okay on it, with the okay, John and Mike?
Yeah, that's,
Y'all okay at the
I was
moment?
just, I'll go by and look at it, landmarks, the location, see if it's okay with you.
Tentatively move forward with the construction of the shed for the cannon with Friends of the Fort. Friends of the Fort down now. Who moved that? Yes.
All right, I didn't hear on that.
You?
Yes.
I made that motion, he rewrites it anyway, so listen to his.
All right.
That's
So,
the
who's second?
science. Pruitt. Guy, just to tentatively move forward with construction of a shed for our cannon at Fort Belknap Park with Friends of the Fort.
After final approval, okay.
Okay?
That way you take the tendency out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, I thought you were gonna go sit on the floor.
All in favor?
Alright.
Carried 5-0. Okay, next is estimates for the repair of front porch and bathrooms. I'm looking at that myself.
The porch was, that porch is bad. I mean, it's just rotted out. You lean on it and it falls through.
On the, well, the banisters, front porch,
Yes.
that's of the house residence.
But I bet if we go to Winton, to push it over, Stacy.
Well, our
Pretty bad.
kids, our
Is it your
kids
red?
have gotten hurt on it before,
Right.
so, yeah. I think my daughter had a nail scraper all the way over.
Did you want to talk about the bathroom?
Yes. The bathroom, we've noticed that from the bathtub to the toilet is pretty squishy when you walk on it. There's a lot of give on it. The top of the flooring, I can't remember what that's exactly called. It's-
Laminate?
Yes, it's coming up. So we're thinking that there's actually water damage underneath, so like the floorboards.
We turn in an insurance claim? We should.
Yeah, we should.
Next, I want to take the water.
We've got no construction, we've got,
That's when it's all fine.
Yeah, we had called some other people, but everybody was saying they couldn't get out for 6 or so months, so we've got 2 bids on it right now. Yeah, Dalton did a lot of
There
work.
is a clause in a lot of insurance contracts, that says continuous leakage of water is covered. So you'll just need to have them come and look at it.
Especially if there's a leak.
In other words, you start seepage is
Yeah.
not covered, because you should have fixed it when it started seeping.
Well, see, that's one thing that we're not sure of. We're not sure if it's,
Was it like that when we moved in,
It was, the floor was wavy when we moved.
yes.
or was it soft?
That's how we noticed it. We had them come out and fix the back of the, plumber came out and fixed the back of the, what is that, bathtub? Bathtub.
Because of,
drain,
oh,
the drains.
No, it wasn't the drain, it was the faucets.
it was the guts of the faucet.
Because you have modern plumbing and really old plumbing that are
Being married
all
together.
coming together, and it's just, which, I mean, all the buildings out there are like that, but
Yeah, all the plumbing on the fort is not that great. But one thing is, we're not sure, because that bathtub is so shallow, I mean, it is like that, I mean, and so I think part of the problem could be is the bathtub is just not tall enough to keep from water coming over. So one thing that we're wanting to do is to kind of deepen the tub and to put tile, like actual tile down. Because if you put more of that laminate down, it's just gonna ruin it again when water's on it, so.
and I've got tile donated.
Well, we do have some tile, but I don't know
Needs
with,
to be a waterproof floor.
yes, we have 4
This
kids.
calls for the placement of that. so that-
Yes, it has
Move and place bathtub,
yes,
1,500.
Yeah.
it has it on.
We always got 3 bathtubs last year, I think we got $40-50 a piece for.
Well, when we were in Lowe's or Home Depot the other day, and we were walking through, just looking at stuff, and we found a bathtub that was really nice.
Like your lawnmower.
$100, so.
Like the lawnmower.
Yeah.
It is pretty shallow.
It is very
It's
shallow.
Pretty shallow. But I don't know, nobody ever determined for sure if it was splash out of the tub.
Right,
or-
that's what we don't know, but because of the way, another reason is when we got there, the way the plumbing was done underneath the sink, it was leaking just from the drain, and so we had redone that, so I know that could be partial problem for damage of the floor.
And if you look at where the hot water heater is in the hallway, that door sticks from the ground.
Well, all of that laminate's kind of, because of the
And that's-
bathroom is,
That's all.
I would suggest we call in our insurance adjuster and see what he has to say about the damage.
Yeah, we have $1,000 deductible,
How much?
1,000.
$1,000. We can determine from there on how much more we're going to spend.
Yeah. Now, on the porch, you think we go ahead and do it, finish the post.
Sometimes we get a good one in there.
That's just the bathroom I'm talking about, because the porch is not going to be part of it.
Yeah.
That porch over there, is that the same thing that others, that remove the boards on the porch and replace the handrails, or
Just put new posts.
post and handrails?
Really, because they're rotted out,
yeah, there's.
Right at the ground.
Yeah.
The bolts are coming out from the bottom of the,
So it's concrete?
Yeah, it's right on, like on the porch, and right where it's bolted to the concrete, it's just, there's nothing there, there's barely wood even on it, like termite or something.
It's not holding the screw proof up at all.
I don't know what's holding the thing up.
I don't either.
it's not that.
Worked out that.
Because those bolts are rusted out. that are-
So the money Johnson is $625,
I looked at their
And
budget.
and you didn't paint it?
You know, we used to.
Dalton was $1,025, and he doesn't think-
Sure, it was just little nothing.
Yeah,
You
so.
can paint.
Contingencies on place and I pulled
Well,
out.
Corn wax.
really, I'm not.
Amber can paint.
Yeah. Really, I don't even.
Besides, Amber can do it all.
That's my line of work. I like that kind of stuff. Jim is a historian. I like to do the other stuff.
You selected well, Mr. Hammond.
Yes, it is. And she can cook.
And you're good.
But I don't know that even painting it, I wouldn't mind just having it like sealed.
Hey, we got extra
You
cedar
know.
poles if we can, we'll get one material.
Cedar, got to put cedar holes in there.
Well, yeah, and just seal them would be perfectly fine because the paint that they have on the, because if they paint them, then the shutters on the front of the house, that's what color the shutters are.
Cedar would not be painted.
So that's what I was thinking, it could come out of contingency.
Is there any, middle left?
We're going to do the lawnmower out of contingency.
It's a little over 2,000 in there.
Donation, yeah, we have a little more, like, over 2,000 donation.
2,300.
Why did you budget for that lawnmower?
I thought we were gonna be able to get it.
Yeah.
Didn't know that block was gonna crack it.
Yeah.
Right, that was,
And you
yeah,
probably
that
should.
was very.
Because I mean, it was clipping along great whenever we wintered it. and-
Another thing you
Well-
find out by looking at lawnmowers,
It started on the pulley and we thought we had it fixed. And then-
Kawasaki and Briggs both make different classes of motors.
Okay.
I
Some
think
kind
it's
of $500
it's
lawnmower.
$5,000 or $6,000 pulled out of the full bailout budget. When we adopted the budget, I think there'd been about $6,000 pulled out of the full bailout budget. Different line in there.
And on that Dalton, I know, it has, well, not Dalton. One of them has something for the, garage on there. Yeah, Dalton, it has on there for the garage, and we were just, because with our family growing, just for permission, if in the future we needed more room, if we could have that redone as another room, as a laundry room, because our laundry's out there, and separate that as laundry in another room, because our family's growing, we're running out of space, but,
That's a different discussion.
right, that's not anything we need. It was just on there. So I just wanted to throw that.
Here's the thought track.
Yeah,
Here's the
because it was on there, I didn't want y'all to look at that and be like, what's that? So, yeah, we don't need that.
Right now, the posts on the front porch and the bathroom.
Yes.
Also, we get the porch done, we can get it done. And then let the insurance look at the bathroom.
Make a decision on the basement.
Okay, I agree with that.
Go ahead and get the porch started and then we'll get the insurance.
Let's let the insurance look for us too, just
Okay.
to, you never know.
Well, I don't know why the insurance cover that, that's just gonna be natural.
It's just a wear and tear and deterioration.
Yeah. I mean, talk to
Wear
an
and tear
insurance
and
man.
deterioration.
And then
It's exposed to illness.
it's a
So we-
$650 bill here on the repair of that. Our insurance deductible, although, you know, if it did cover it, we've got $1,000 deductible on it. So independently, it wouldn't be worth turning in. Collectively with this, it might be. Yeah, it needs to be repaired.
So can we get permission to paint with the one, it's 650, we paint.
25 you paint.
So we repaint the Chevy on the house too, to match the porch, I mean, is there a reason that it's brown? Is that,
Doesn't matter.
just to make it match, whatever?
You can make the
You
porch
gonna
match.
Make the porch match.
Yeah, he's gonna do the painting.
Yeah, I'll do the paint.
You got your paint?
We'll buy it.
Only the paint's up there. Yeah, paint it.
I didn't know if there was if you couldn't, if there was something.
And you also, you pointed out to me some windows in the,
We've started replacing, we've replaced the front door, Matt came out and saw the front door, we took the
They
front door.
really
put
did
it
a
on
really
the
good
back,
job on the front door.
Yeah.
And then the window sills, we
Behind
went through and
the door.
started replacing those, and now they're sealed up. We had, Boy Scouts were, are you gonna do all of it? Yes, we're doing all of it. So,
yeah, you know, those kind of things come to the purview of your budget, it's not extra, it's what you're there for, so. As long as you can stay within that, I don't see that you necessarily need to come to court with those kind of little projects.
Yeah.
You know, some of this you do.
Well, I'll make the motion that we go ahead and accept the bid from Monty Johnson on the 625 for the porch. And then we'll get an estimate on the other one, but the 625 can come out of what, Ann?
Whatever y'all want, I mean, take out a budget
Building
or
ground maintenance.
contingency, I
Building
mean, you don't
ground
want to take out a
maintenance.
donation money, do you?
We'll do that out of building and ground maintenance and the Ford.
We should have that in there.
Let's see, I pulled that, let me see what's in there. If I can see it.
I'll second that.
Did you say grounds maker?
Building on ground and ground.
Engineer,
In building, there's not that, in grounds, I have 1,900, so
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work.
I can move it down to the, because I want to take it out of the
Well,
building.
well, there's monies there to move around to get
How
there.
much was that?
$625.
625?
Bet I can find it somewhere, there's 561 and miscellaneous and up here. Office supplies, there's 300, there's money that I can move around. Other equipment, there's two, I can patch it together.
That's,
Not in the building and
I'll
ground.
just find it in their budget to move it
Make the motion that Cheryl finds it in the budget.
in. I'll bring you a budget amendment, just a little here, a little there.
Trick here is within the budget.
Yeah.
Next question is, if we redo this mower, we're gonna come up with $1 million
On the
Yep.
floor.
on the mower.
The mower, it would have to come out of contingency because they don't have it in their budget.
Find out how much we're spending.
Okay, so what the problem is with the mower we got is the nipple coming out of the block that drains the oil, the vibration is cracked.
Yeah,
Is that what
it's
it is?
cracked.
Yes.
Okay. How tall a crack is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it goes
From the bottom to
from the
the,
threads all the way to the whole cool block.
And the neck is wore out.
That's why I was saying, I mean, we could,
what is that, 9
Wow.
years old, 10 years old?
1,000 now.
8 years old.
okay, 1,000 hours.
Right, Eddie.
So
I mow
Maybe we can get a little bit out of it.
from 9 to 5.
So maybe our
Lunch break.
$10,000 is for when we can get at least
You do it.
9,000.
Yeah, I do it during the day with the grasshopper though, it has LED lights and
You got there all night long.
no, but
All the time.
I would move, there would never be
You
a
mow at night.
grass out of place.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Foote, second by Commissioner Simonson, I believe, to
It is.
repair, to accept Monty Johnson bid for the porch repair and to turn in a claim. I'm going, if you will, include that in both.
Yeah.
Insurance claim for our adjuster to look at with regard to the bathroom repair necessary. All in favor? Carry 5-0.
Thank y'all.
Okay, we'll probably have that back on, probably have that back on the 13th too. On that, see what we're gonna do with that.
Are you two just figure out for me?
Yes.
They're still here for the fence, so we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we'll get it.
Item number 12, this is really not an action thing, it's just a status report with not Fort Belknap, but with regard to the Belknap Community Cemetery there. And that fence project that we discussed in June of 15.
And we got 3 sides done.
Sure would like to finish that project. We'll probably expand it, just not expand, but also put some hog panels on it.
Hog panels are in the bottom.
Yeah, because they stated that the hogs are turning out.
It's gotten about a,
Commissioner Wiley and I have talked, and we're gonna get our guys out there tomorrow, if you guys wanna join. Tomorrow. If y'all wanna join. I'll bring my welder out there.
Still hauling FEMA gravel, we get off good for a while.
And just for information purposes, that's a closed cemetery, there, we don't sell anymore, there's not any
Them folks get up
lots
there.
that we sell.
Okay, good.
I
We've
did-
been having a lot of those questions.
I did have a call and they asked me about a plot and of course, I directed them to you.
We sort of initiated the intent, at least, to get a historical marker on that cemetery. That cemetery's got graves in there prior to 1860. There's 120 or 30 graves identified in there. And historically, that had been, you just show up someday and there'd been a grave there. Nobody knew anything about it. Nobody had any control there. So I'm hoping to get either it really actually come through the Young County Historical Commission, but make that either their project or Friends to the Fort project.
Well, I'll probably be the route to marker.
You know, it's kind of a long process,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit arduous to get that commemoration on the cemetery, but it's something that really needs to be. And that's not in conjunction with Fort Belknap. Now, there was a Fort Belknap cemetery, but that had all military and other government officials in it. It was right north of the fort. It was consumed in the 20s, I believe, and moved to San Antonio. All of the remains that were in there were moved to San Antonio. This now pasture and fields. So, they're often getting confused between the Belknap Cemetery and Fort Belknap Cemetery. So, this is the Belknap Cemetery.
So you want hog panel right at the bottom of it?
Well, we need to do something like that.
And we've kept the cows out, but we've allowed the hogs in.
To the point to where we're gonna need
Probably
something
get them
else
off
with the
there.
ground.
I didn't much put anything like that down there because you get the vine things growing up in it. It's
What do you think about 2 foot high? 3 foot high?
Maybe panel high.
We need to measure the bottom of that last circle.
To that second rail?
See how far it is.
Yeah.
Can't just put one more rod between sucker rods down
That won't stop them. That won't stop them. They'll go through that like a dose of sauce.
Underneath.
Like a what?
Dose of sauce.
That was a salt.
Well, what do you need us to bring tomorrow? Backhoe?
We're not gonna be able to come tomorrow.
We'll have a back on.
You'll have a backhoe?
Welder?
We'll bring our welder. You bring your
Skid steer?
welder. Yeah, bring your skid steer.
Okay.
Yeah, then I think it'll be good, because I'm giving my skid steer to them, to you.
Bring the forks with your skid steer.
I haven't been out there in a month or two, three.
Need a bucket too? Just for
Yeah.
bucket.
Question
Hey,
two,
fire would be the primary danger there.
question two on that. What do y'all want to do with the debris and all the junk we have left?
Is that chain link still in?
There's chain link there, the post we pulled up there, some of that's got concrete on it.
Well, the chain link, you know, we may gather that up and it might be marketable at an auction or something like that, or it might bring something at the,
Some of that's not, because the, when the
You sold
cattle,
scrap metal?
That's
the
what I was
cattle coming
thinking.
back and forth through it, that part there wasn't good.
Could you sell the poles even with the cement and stuff on it?
No.
Scrap the yard, have to beat it off. Cut it off.
Take a sledgehammer and hit it 2 times with concrete.
It'll just fall off.
well, you
Didn't
knock
get
the
concrete.
concrete off the pole. Take the pole, still crack that concrete down and fall off.
Should I break
do
the,
with it then?
bobtail?
Buried
Some of this stuff
somewhere.
up the back there?
What's that, bobtail?
Or put it,
We need to figure out what we're gonna do with it though.
I'm gonna bring the dump.
Oh, it's Stacy's yard.
Well, actually, I do.
Steve.
I can take that, I'll take that, cement, I'll put it in that dump trailer and then walk, just take it out to Newcastle Lake. The road. Some of the washes. If I can even get out there, I don't know if I can get out there. It's pretty rough. It is that bad.
I wouldn't do nothing like that until you got the road smooth and run it down.
And we can just bury it. We can just bury that cement.
Well, there's proper room in the spillway. You're in that
yeah,
cement
just
too.
put it in around that spillway where, I mean, there's tons and tons and tons of concrete and rock in that water, in that spillway.
We'll decide what to do to it and gather it up tomorrow. So
Yeah.
Start about 8:30 over there at the cemetery.
Well, they're still taking material over there in Aldi, when they're open.
They would probably take that wire.
They'll take the wire and soak it.
Yeah.
We can bring very much.
But then just leave it.
Be out of the way.
Yeah. And we don't have to pay for the disposal of it.
Yeah.
They pay us minimal.
All right.
Anything else there? Okay, let's go to the supplemental, if you please, Court. I have Travis up here to discuss, consider replacement of jail transport, is that what? Yes. For the transport vehicle, I apologize for the email.
No, that's right. I didn't get out, it already left. I was kind of feeling under the weather, so.
I didn't get the first part of it, and I didn't have a clue.
Here, y'all already have this on your agenda, but this has kind of a in color. Billy wanted to apologize that he couldn't be here today to present this and asked me to do so. So we give that to him. Okay. So anyway, this is what he come up with. You know, the top number right there is what he rounded off what we were gonna get back on the Crown Vic that was wrecked. Shows the payoff for that Charger, it's $2,937. We can take that money that we can get back and pay that Charger off. We won't owe anything on the Charger whatsoever. And then the down payment on it'll leave the rest of it, the down payment on that Ford Explorer that he's located for us. Then he broke it down below that, showing the payments that the first one due in March 1st, 2018.
We made the Charger payment this year, and we only had the one more payment left, and it's due in November of this year, which will be in our 18 budget year, so we wouldn't.
What was the payment size?
It's, a little less than $3,000.
2937.
29%.
Interest rate.
Right.
This is interest rate for the new vehicle is
What's
2.75%.
the interest rate on that Dodge Charger?
2.25.
Yeah, I think it's 2.25.
Well, we paid it over, paid 175, same money.
Well, that's just $3,000.
Okay,
I can go look at, I've been 2.25.
Maybe.
Travis, this gonna be, is it dedicated to a transport vehicle? Is that what?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
I'll go get that contract for the Charger and see what that rate is.
It went up so much, because I thought it was 2.25 too.
Yeah, I'll get
The last ones we worked on,
Yeah, he's been going up and up and up on it.
2.5.
on that roller, is about 275.
They're long.
Because interest
They're long
rates are
to
going
keep
up.
Doing that.
Yeah, so I'll keep going up, so. Money may start getting worse on
If you got some of that 2.25, you better go.
You're not talking that much money though, 29.37, just a few dollars.
We need that equity and that
This
thing to pay down on the new vehicle.
vehicles is somewhere that's already been.
Yes, sir, he's already located it. He's already located it, and it has, what I understood, it already had the
Cage in it.
cage in it and the visor lights. The only thing it didn't have that we wanted was the guard, the grill guard on the front. And all the stuff that we had, we got Motorola of Texas is coming to take all the radio stuff out of the Crown Vic, take it to Wichita, so when we get it, we just take it to them and they'll put everything in. That way we won't be
So
messing
it does
anything
not have
up.
a real guard?
It doesn't.
I think he needs one.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Didn't damage any of the radio equipment or anything?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of, because all the impact was at the rear end, so on that side, the driver's side.
You just had that much more than, yeah.
I've hit a deer with
I've written
the
all
grill
the
guard.
Did not hurt.
Travis, did we do anything with that light pickup? That was great.
How many,
Never had a regular real guard yet.
what's that, that's a 6-passenger vehicle?
That would be,
Yeah, low speed stuff.
yes. Well, no, because when you put that cage in there, I think that's gonna, I think you're taking away from your seats. I didn't ask him about that, but you'd have, you put that cage, well, it may not, because it's only gonna be that divider will be right behind the driver, so you may still have that extra seat back there. Which makes
They got a third seat?
That's a good question, I don't know, Judge, I'd have to ask Billy to make sure.
Did you get a spec sheet on
And then we
it?
paid that other 10,000.
He just gave me these numbers right here.
Paid that
You
other
can
10,
transport
it
at
was
least 3.
2.65%, so I
You
need
can
to try to
transport
the
four,
amortization
you did, I mean,
sheet now.
there's no reason why you can't transport one in the front. I mean,
10.
depending on where you're going, you can put 3 in the back, right
Right
behind
behind the
you.
jail, I mean, to the courthouse where.
Well, that's true,
I doubt
and,
he changed the interest right there.
trying to keep that
I doubt he
van, do it all the transport between here and there, but I'm telling you, that thing's getting a lot of miles on it, so. We had to use
What
it,
model is it?
2006,
The transport?
that van, we don't have that.
About all it's done, go from here and there.
Right, yeah.
Well, we used it, when we first got it, we used it for everything.
Yeah.
And then we got that Crown, the Crown Vic, but, it shows 150, almost 154,000 miles.
That's not too many.
Yeah, the Charger's getting up to
I've got 2 or
62.
3 vehicles, I want more miles on
I
than that.
agree.
I got a pickup that's got 243.
Would you go pick up an inmate and come back?
Shoot, yeah.
You
It's a
would?
good one.
That's taking, I about had 250 little
Oh,
miles.
my God.
Go to Houston, pick one up, break down.
I pulled the trailer with mine.
It looks like that interest rate, I have it where, before we pay that extra 10 now, but it was 2.65%. So the interest rate on this is much higher.
And that's a Interceptor, that's probably got a pretty high performance engine.
Yes, sir.
What's the fuel economy on those?
Like I said, I haven't got the spec sheet on it to even show anything about it, except for what we have right here.
I would think a lot of that has to do more with suspension and interior grade,
Right.
carpeting, stuff such as that.
What is it, Ford what?
It's a Ford Police Interceptor.
I mean, Ford.
Oh, Explorer.
Explorer.
Didn't we go through that Ford was the only one still making a police package of some sort?
No, actually, well,
Tahoe's?
Tahoe's are still making them, and they got
They're a lot
into-
more expensive.
Well, they got into a bind because they started making all these, you know, at one time they were like $10,000 more than what the Explorers were. But Billy said now that since they figured out, Chevrolet's figured out that they were losing money,
Losing market.
so they started bringing it back down, and now they're just about $2,000 more.
22.
So,
22.
which is not that much.
Isn't too bad.
They'll do that, it's not too bad.
No,
What is it?
22. 22 miles a gallon.
That Charger is
Would you like to go?
2014.
Yeah, right.
Can you believe it?
And we have already received the money
Yeah.
back on that. And they also paid us for the towing on it.
It's average about 20,000 miles a year on that Charger.
So you have funds available to pay that off.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we received the checks from TAC
I'm
last
talking
week.
about the 29, 37,
Yes, sir.
so out of that.
If we used it out of this money that
And
we
it'll be
received.
2770, we'll be able to reduce the cost there.
Yes.
Our insurance company did not pay off that balance before they wrote us a check. They gave us a balance, they gave us 57.
The Crown Vic was paid
Paid
for.
for.
We
Already
paid
paid
cash
for.
for
Right.
it. In fact, I looked it up the other, I think we paid $23,000 for that Crown Vic when we bought it and paid cash. And then we put in $300 more worth of decals.
New vehicle.
How old is that around there?
2011, I pulled the title
Pretty
card out.
good cars.
Yeah.
That's where,
I would have still been driving that one for a while.
That was incredibly tribute out.
yeah, 2010, I pulled the title today, back from the time. But we're gonna pull all of our radio and equipment off of that Crown Vic and then call TAC, and they're gonna pick it up.
I say, let's go ahead and get her done.
This is probably funding for place for this next year, but
Replacing one with another.
if they give us a revenue cap of 4%, it might be real hard to find a place.
Yes, sir, maybe. We're gonna claim we're not gonna, that's not gonna happen now.
There you go.
Better get talking.
Better get talking. The big boys are pushing.
You know, it don't affect them big counties.
Huh?
It won't affect the big counties like it does us.
I know, that's why they're pushing it.
Doesn't affect our state either. Then they don't.
Nobody's on the hook with small counties.
Yeah, that's right.
We're trying to tier.
Well, we're probably a little bit behind for transport vehicles. I don't know.
So did he take it?
I'll second that motion. Jimmy?
I done made one.
You made one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We taking 29 37 off of the check that we got off the insurance company to pay off the 2014 Charger and apply the remainder of the check as a down payment on the 2017 Explorer utility transport vehicle.
That's what it's been.
37.
Basically, it offsets the.
If you remember,
Because we paid 16,000 down on it,
remember the story behind this is we had the Equinox that got totaled.
and we had paid for
And the
it.
Equinox was paid for, and it had very few miles on it when they rear-ended it and totaled it.
I think, I looked at that, I think we paid a little over 20,000 for that Equinox, and it wasn't long after it was wrecked, and
Yeah.
so
We
we
put-
got 16,000.
And we put the full 16, because see,
Mhm.
they were trying to recoup us on that 16,000 deal. They wanted us to take 10,000 of that and buy something else with it. And we said, no, we're putting the full 16 on the Charger. That's what they wanted to do. I think by
That's why the
radio, we buy
payment's
some,
on
I
this.
forget what it was that we used.
Because this Charger cost, you know, with that, before everything was 24,000 or 26,000.
So it's not a lot of difference between the Charger and this Explorer, but you get more room in an Explorer than you do a Charger, so.
Okay, see if I've got this down about like it is. Got a motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Sykes, to accept the insurance payment, pay off 2014 Charger at a balance of $2,937, and to purchase a Ford Explorer transport vehicle for Young County SO, financed through American National Leasing at $7,095 annual payment to begin March 1st, 2018. Is that right? About right? Anything else you need to add to that?
We're just gonna use remainder of that check to pay the down payment.
Right.
And maybe anything else we come up with between now and then.
Okay, that's the balance of the insurance payoff to go toward the cost of the,
Down payment.
toward the down payment of the
2017.
Ford Explorer. Yeah. All in favor? I think you've got that perfectly, do you not, Kate?
Oh, you can, sure.
Thank y'all.
How's your budget look, Sheriff?
I hadn't looked at it just, I do look at it, don't I?
You do look.
I'm Cheryl rolled her eyes. He looked at it too much, apparently.
Just keep it both eyeballs on.
But those drivers, driver training.
You know, you're right. I mean, there's this driving school here that the police department puts on, plus we have one also, so there's no reason why we shouldn't have them going through.
Yeah, if they're gonna be transporting a
Oh,
lot.
I absolutely.
One of our cars.
Or send them down there to Austin, the Broncos. to do some
Yeah.
driving school.
So would it lower our insurance on these guys any if we had them going through there?
I think I remember them saying that you lifted that, would they bring a trailer around or something, a simulator or something?
Well, we did ours out there at the airport.
The PD does, yeah.
But I think TAC might.
I think the TAC does have a simulator.
Simulator.
Yeah, that'd be good. Maybe get on the TAC, Travis, and see if they can,
Yeah.
do that. And it might help our insurance.
Well, in defense, sir, there's been a lot of accidents right there at that intersection.
Yeah.
It's pretty blind on one coming from the west.
There's been people killed at
Yeah,
that.
there's a fatality not too long before that.
One of them was
They're not to be driving down 1769 anymore.
Well, there is traffic lights the other way, around
Absolutely.
3K.
It's a better road.
Safer road.
And those valid, what, 2-3 months ago there?
Yeah.
Thank God this
Rough
was
intersection.
no
Gee,
injuries.
Yeah. I think they should slow that down through there, to like 45, 50 or something like that. At least for a mile.
They come in
And that yeah, yeah, they come around that corner there. That highway.
14, intersection over the curve.
Yeah, that's just rough. And it's 75.
With it over it.
Wasn't on there. Mhm.
Painful.
Okay, item number 13, anybody want to do anything with the burn restriction?
You need to burn this week.
Don't burn this week. Windy.
It won't be very long, there won't be anything with the burn. It's jumping through it, there, man.
Is someone bringing water tomorrow, whenever y'all are doing all this?
When you gonna bring it?
We want to put out fire, in case of the fire.
Right.
There'll be water on our welder. We got 250 gallons in a pump.
Hey, we're county employees, we don't burn things.
Do y'all need any of my guys out there to help, any of the work crew out there to help you guys tomorrow?
I don't think so. We're more standing around.
Yeah, probably more standard around. I think we pretty much got that.
Amber was being nice, but she said if y'all would make sure you pick up your little pieces of pipe when they cut them off, because that
She's
gets
hitting
under
the
the
lawnmower.
lawn.
After they cool off.
They can go around Fort Bell now and pick up sticks, but, anytime they want to, nearly this time of year.
Yeah.
Jimmy, do you think we need that?
Old live oak tree shed from limbs pretty quick.
We're gonna have people out there.
Maybe the day or two afterwards, then they can pick up those little pieces of pipe that we might have missed or something.
Well, if we can carry a bucket with us, we can keep them in the bucket.
Yeah.
We need to put a structure, we need to put a roller on the bucket too.
They don't do the lawnmower very good, does it? Isn't it? I did not know they ran that
Is there
fast.
any other business that we need to be brought to the attention of the board? If not, anything else that needs to be discussed? Seems like there's something I had in mind, but I can't remember what it was now. Back on back.
Holiday, there's no
Who's holiday?
It's Independence Day.
Yes.
I don't think that's on our
Alamo letter was, Travis's Alamo letter was written this last
Oh, I know
weekend.
what it was, it's tomorrow's ground day.
Yes, the
Capitol.
Capitol.
I would love to go myself, but I have another meeting.
Headed down that way.
Called.
Both extension agents are going.
Hopefully it
I've
won't be
made that
down
trip
this
a
time.
time or two.
Hope so. We've broken down once or
Thursday.
Judge handled it though. It's like fixing a tractor.
Well,
No, that one time, remember we never walked to the restaurant while they fixed
While
the
they fix the
It's
button.
holiday though, so don't show up.
We sat up on the roof over 6th Street enjoying an evening meal.
What? Thursday's a holiday?
I don't think so.
Not for us.
Somewhere.
Stacy's trying to invent one.
That's Independence Day.
No, I mean,
But
but he's
it's
trying
on
to
there.
invent one for us to be off.
It's printed on there, but it's not marked a holiday.
Are you sure?
The one we took off.
We come by the office and I'll double check.
Excuse me?
Didn't we take that one off? the
We've
list?
never had
Yeah.
it.
I don't think it's ever been on.
No,
I don't think it's ever been
Now,
on.
we would be glad to take it off.
I don't remember it on
I
there.
thought we put it on there.
You can take off Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really important day.
Our guy's working.
I'm serious, I thought we put it on
I'll look. What about Cinco de Mayo?
We done?
Motion by
Adjourn.
Don't even celebrate that.
Second.
I'm always an awesome at a
You
conference.
second there.
Me. Jimmy, then me.
I'm gonna look today.
Thank you, Brett.
Shouldn't have been marked if it is.
You gotta speak up now and be quick. We're gonna got a motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Pruitt to adjourn. All in favor?